Well, if there are extra sticks there, then they've been put there by a human or the forest folk, because they can't fall through, can they? Or can they? Let's have a look. Could they possibly fall through?
No.
Right, let's go round the other side. So we've come back here again to re-look at this structure. We're paying close attention to what Leon of Bigfoot Okanagan says. We're coming back, we're checking, we're trying to be as ruthless and as critical as we possibly can when we're looking at this structure. So we're looking to see if this could be made by humans. And it could, couldn't it?
Oh, well, yeah.
I think it could, easily. Now, the other thing that we just found, not, 50 metres from here, is someone's made a little table, picnic area in the wood out of pallets. So they made they've got some tree stumps to make seats, and they've got a pallet so that they can sit out and have a picnic area. So if people have been coming here to picnic, then there's no reason why people hadn't made this. Now, when we came last time, we hadn't seen that pallet area. We think it's perhaps new this summer for the school holidays, perhaps. So I'm thinking more and more that this structure is human. What do you think, Rob?
Don't know.
You don't know?
No, depends on those sticks inside.
The sticks inside are very odd.
I'm sure there were 3 last time. Now there's about 7 or 8 of them.
So you thought there were 3 sticks last time, now there's 7 or 8. Well, we can look back on the other video and I can post up a still picture from there to show what was inside.
I would think that humans would just lay it on there. Why put that one in there? So you've got to find that and decide to do that, haven't you?
Yeah, but I mean, that isn't terribly heavy.
No.
Is it? So you could easily, and that one helps to support the lower ones.
Yeah, but if it's human,
these lower ones are supported by that one.
Yeah, but wouldn't it look so easy just to put loads of long ones on?
Well, yeah, there are a lot of long ones on as well,
Yeah,
but maybe you need the strength of the shorter ones also. I don't know. But we're just trying to be very, very careful about what we state is possible forest folk or not.
We've got some rubbish down there.
Yeah, well, remember last time when we came here, we saw all those plant pots, and we said then that people obviously did come here.
Or they've been found here but put round it so that they think it's human, you know?
I've no idea.
You've got to see one.
Yeah, we need to see a person or a forest folk actually building one of these to be able to say for definite. And unless we can afford to buy 5 or 6 game cams and put them out in this wood, which we can't do, mostly we can only just afford to buy our fish fingers, can't we? So it's not like we're going to be able to fill the wood with game cams. But the other thing about this wood is that it does have all the hallmarks of forest folk activity. You know, if I was saying to someone, I'll take you to a wood and I'll show you what I think the forest folk do, this would be a perfect place to bring you, because, you know, there is so much here that looks like somebody's been messing with it. But then again, that could be human. But we've decided to get much more ruthless and much more critical. It feels to me at the moment that stick structures and glyphs are getting the spotlight and getting a very hard time. And the problem is, there's no way that we can prove or show who did them. So, scientifically speaking, we can't prove any of it. And that's the problem. We can look at things and we can say, well, I don't see how a person could have done that. But people have done amazing things. And then we say to ourselves, well, in our woods, here in France, there doesn't seem to be anybody else here. But then when we were talking today, we realised that out of 180 odd hours in a week, we're only in these woods for 2 hours. So I said to Rob, if you were going to have an operation and the surgeon said to you, you've got 2 chances out of 184 of this operation being successful, you wouldn't have it done, would you? So why are we making our assumptions about this wood on 2 hours of evidence out of 184? It's not statistically viable, is it? It's not a sensible claim to make if you look at it scientifically. Despite what it feels like, and it does feel extremely squatchy, we can't prove any of it because we're only here for 2 hours out of a week. And if you think of how many hundreds and hundreds of acres of woodland, we're only in a fraction of a percentage of the woodland. So for Rob and I to always be saying there's never anybody here is not really true, because we don't know there's never anybody here really. It's what we assume and what we believe, but we've not got evidence to prove that. Which is why we came back today to try and have another look at this thing. But as we said when we were talking to each other in the car, even if this structure has changed today when we came back, we haven't got any proof of who changed it. So the fact that it changed means absolutely nothing, because we can't prove who changed it. So we're feeling extremely frustrated.
Bee's nest.
A bee's nest. Oh my goodness. In the ground. Oh, how lovely. Gosh, it's a good job we didn't put our foot on that, isn't it?
Yeah.
I probably would have done. It's a good job you're here walking in front of me.
Deer.
A deer?
Yeah, just ran across there.
I said to you, didn't I, that I heard something moving about earlier on, and I wondered what it was. I'd heard some gentle footsteps, and I didn't know if it was something falling out of the trees or whether it was a deer or a hog.
No, that didn't half go. I probably thought we were shast with these jackets on.
Oh, probably, yeah. It's a shast day today, so we've had to come between 12 and 2, because if not, we'll probably get shot. And we've got our yellow jackets on, so hopefully they'll see us and they won't shoot us. But you never know. So guys, you can hear our dilemma, and you can hear that Leon and co have put a real cat among the pigeons in challenging us to find better evidence than we're finding. And it's so difficult. It really is difficult. Right guys, maybe see you next Sunday with another video. Now, can this be people making like a shelter? Okay, so that's what's around it.
This is where the dip is as well, you said.
We've now come to another patch of woodland along what I think is this travel route, and we're looking now to assess whether the things that we see that we think seem squatchy are logically squatchy. So there's a break here, then there's another break just there that leans in and down here. Then we've got a fallen tree lying in there, and then we've got this one lying along here, and then we've got this one that goes underneath it and is lying across there. Now this one and this one and this one and that one all seem very dead, and this one, but this one seems extremely healthy and very much alive. So we're trying to work out how or why this one would have fallen down, because there doesn't seem to be anything wrong with it. And it looks like this one has been put in there to hold it in place.
That's like that there is part of that tree.
So
and that's inside that.
And that
are the same tree.
So we need to work out how this healthy big tree can have slotted itself in between the two forks there of the Y stick, and there's the healthy stick log. So how, let's have a look from the other side.
So that should fall
how can
down.
that have happened? So here's where that one, the big healthy one, has fallen over. It's a bit hard to see. Right, so I'm assuming that this is the root of it, and there's where it's snapped off.
And this big old one here.
Wait 1 second while I just get a good view of this, where it's jammed in. So, and also you see there's that going across there, which means that it holds this one that doesn't appear to be dead. It holds it up off the ground, and it makes like a cross. But is that just natural? Right, Rob, what were you going to tell us?
This one comes to here.
So this is the one with the dead Y stick.
Yeah,
so that is here, and that goes all the way along there and into there. So what did you want to say about that?
That's it, that to fall, catch that one, and then go in between those two trees. But that one is right back there.
It seems a bit unlikely, doesn't it? But then we're not wood people, so maybe it's not unlikely. Maybe it's the kind of stuff that happens all the time. So we've just been saying to each other, we've just walked now for, I don't know, about 20 minutes all the way round this wood, looking into it, and there isn't anything. There's nothing that looks like any kind of sign or evidence. So why is it in one area we go in and we see lots of things that look like sign and manipulation and possible evidence, then we walk to another area and there's absolutely nothing? Now it's the same trees, it's the same weather, it's the same rainfall. We're talking about only, an acre or two of woodland. So why do some areas have what looks like activity and some areas don't? And then I think to myself, think of Sherlock Holmes. Absence of evidence isn't evidence. So just because there isn't something in that little bit doesn't mean anything. It's not evidence. So this has really got us thinking and really trying to puzzle. And we're thinking to ourselves, the only way we're going to have any kind of evidence that's as near to irrefutable as possible is if we find some footprints. And I don't know how we're ever going to do that. Because there's so much wood